Autumn 1990. I always refer to my grandma's pattern magazines as my grandma's burdas, and there was a patrones one from autumn 1990, and I've been wanting to use it, but now I realize that autumn, it's deep winter here. Everything is woolen coats and thick stuff that I won't be able to use here. So there is a little jacket that looks interesting, so let's try. So it is a short jacket in a sort of lace with sleeves and for chilly night. Supplement 5 in green. Does that mean there's 5 pattern sheets? Wow. Wow, wow. There wasn't 5 pattern sheets, there were 6. And now it says, now that I have found mine, no, I haven't. Where is it? I had it. Yeah, this one. It says here, sizes 40, 44 and 48. From nowadays patterns, I've been cutting size 40. So let's see if years ago it was the same. Yes, it was. Okay, so I'm a size 40 according to them, so let's cut that. So I have my pieces, it's only 2 pieces, the sleeve and this, which is all in a whole piece. What I don't know is what this bit is. I don't know what it's for, and I don't understand the instructions either. So I'll keep thinking about it while I cut the fabric. And my fabric is this festive thing, I don't know what it is, but it's a pinkish tone, and on top it has like a silver. It's not glitter, it's just like a, if you would call it like, what's the name of gold leaves, but in silver. And it's making me nervous because it's losing them all the time. I don't like glittery stuff that much because it makes a mess of everything. I remember when I gave birth that I had a pair of pajamas, a new pair of pajamas with some glitter on, and it was a mess because the baby had glitter everywhere, so I just threw them away. But I have to admit it's nice. So I'm going to work with this, even though it's a small little remnant, but I think it can work. The interesting bit about this pattern, let's see if I don't make too much noise, is that it's a whole thing. So once it's all cut, this is where the armhole goes, and this bit here is the middle of your bag. So they tell you to fold your fabric so you end up with the whole thing when you open it. So I'm going to do that. So instead of just folding it in half, what I'm trying to do is to fold it with the pattern in mind, so I don't have to cut unnecessary fabric, and that way I can use it for the sleeves and I don't need more fabric because I haven't got more. So that's good. Let's make the most out of it. Ah, I think I understand now, because it has a bit of it hasn't got a collar, but it goes up a little bit on your neckline, and it's for that. So you fold back and then sew it then in the middle. So it says to do that first and then close the neck. So that's interesting, I haven't done that. So let's start with that. So this little bit has to reach up to the middle to your column, and it doesn't. And I think I didn't understand the pattern when I cut it, because I think I cut it shorter, so I can't do it. I'm going to get rid of it and round it a bit so I haven't got excess material. And I'll do it next time, another time, yeah. That's a pity. As you can see, because it is noticeable, I had already cut before showing you, and it is that the camera ran out of battery. That's never happened to me before, and I didn't realize. I went on talking and I just cut, and the before is not recorded. So you can appreciate the gap on the back, and I can't do anything really. I could add a bit more fabric, but I think it's not a very soft material and it will look a bit weird. So I'm going to, well, I did just cut it and made the front a bit rounded. And now what I'm going to do is to start sewing by just, well, it's one seam only, isn't it? Just sewing on the shoulders, back and front together, and zigzag stitch it just so to avoid fraying. The sleeves are really simple to close because you just need to fold right sides together and sew along the side seam. But the problem I think I'm going to have is when sewing them to the shrug, because it doesn't have a side seam. I mean, when I sew the sleeves, I always take into account that the two seams are joined together, so it looks nice. But apart from that, it's a good tip, it's a good way of knowing where to start. And from there, I always sew the sleeve, and that's not a problem. But on this one, I haven't got a side seam because it's a one-piece thing. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to fold the sleeve flat and see where the top is, put a pin there and match it to the shoulder seam. Another problem, there's more fabric than armhole. I mean, here it doesn't say at any point that I need to gather anything, but I have an excess bit of fabric on the top. So what I'm going to do is to gather it. I don't know if it was supposed to be like that or if I did something wrong. I cut the pattern as it was. So I have no idea, but on both sides, on both sleeves, I have excess fabric. So I'm going to gather it to make it shrink, and then I'll sew it to the sleeve, pinning it, and I'm going to baste. I don't usually baste because I feel comfortable enough by placing pins and sewing there. I always baste when I have too many layers, if I'm sewing a ribbon in between layers or something like that, or if it's something that's not for myself but for someone else, I will baste. But the rest I always do it just with pins. On this case, the material is like a mesh. It's not even a thick fabric, it's see-through. So the pins fall all the time. So I'm going to baste it to be sure. I've tried pressing my seams open, but this material doesn't seem to cooperate. So because I want to zigzag stitch the fabric so it doesn't fray, because this is a bit frayish, so I'm going to do it together, even though it's not advisable, but I'm going to just do it together to make sure I don't end up without any shrug. And now it says I need to hem everything with a 2 cm wide ribbon, which I haven't got the same color. So what I'm going to do is that the other day when I mended the Massimo Dutti blouse, I used this nylon ribbon. It's not 2 centimeters, it's only 1, but I'm going to use this one. So my idea is, in my head is working, that I'm going to sew all around the edge and then fold in and sew again. So I'm going to try first with one of the bits I cut, one of the rounded bits from the armhole area, to see if it works. So this is my idea, to sew first on the outside, so then I can fold in and sew again on the inside. So the amount of ribbon is the same. I'm not using more, and then when I fold I'm going to be making wrinkles and things like that. It's just the same, and it looks like it's working. So I'm going to do it here. But before, I'll be zigzag stitching all around the edge to avoid any disasters. I'm really happy with it. So now it's losing all the silver bits. I'm not going to have any by the time I finish. So now I'm going to press it a little bit so it looks nice and tidy. And for that, on the wrong side, it doesn't matter because it's just the ribbon, but on the right side, it's all the silver bits. So I'll be using a bit of cloth you have around, any cotton cloth, to protect the fabric. And to finish it, it says to hem the sleeves. So I'm going to do a double hem because this phrase, so it will be folding twice and stitching on top. I really like it. It has this 90s vibe, but a bit toned down because I cut the sleeve. If the sleeve had been longer, it would have been unwearable in my opinion. Too much of a 90s. You have to always adapt the styles to your wardrobe, and I wouldn't have worn it long sleeve. But this one I really like. The only thing about the sleeves is the gathering. I don't know if I had to gather it or not. The rest of it I got the same, so I don't know what went wrong. What I did wrong was the neck bit. That I didn't understand the pattern, so I cut it a bit shorter, and I couldn't do that bit of a collar on the back that I think would have looked really nice, but for next time. And the rest of it, I'm in love. I really like how the ribbon turned out and all the nice little hem around it. And I think it looks nice with any outfit because it has this bit of a shimmer effect. It can elevate any outfit you have, like this one for example, and it looks really nice with high-waisted trousers because the cut is at the same level, so it really elongates the figure. So let me know down in the comments what you thought, any tips you have, if you have done it the same or not, if you have done something different. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot, and that way you don't miss anything because I upload twice a week. And I leave you a link here to other videos I have with Patrones magazine. Like these trousers and the blouse you have, I've been wearing the whole time, and as well as dresses, so have a look. Bye!